So now I shall ask myself, what do I want to be? For some reason I think it will make me feel better to write it down. I suppose I could say that I want to be independent, and I want to be at peace, and I want to have more belief in my own convictions, and I want to be indifferent to criticism, and I want to not take everything so seriously. Now I thought that this would make me feel better to write it down, but it doesn't make me feel better at all, because I think I've written essentially the same shit in pretty much every notebook I've ever had. I suppose I could write down, I want to be the sort of person that follows through with what he writes down, but I doubt that that would be worth it, so never mind. Sometimes I wonder what a therapist would think if I said that when I watch DVDs, I want to be like Dallas Winston from that movie The Outsiders, and I want to be like Otter from that movie Animal House, and I want to be like James Dean except I don't want to die, and I want to be like Marlon Brando except I don't want to gain 9,000 pounds, and I believe I may have mentioned that I want to be like James Bond, but I realize that that's childish and silly, so I changed my mind. I'd rather be like Roland Hand from the Mission Impossible TV show. He's cooler. And I want to be a combination of Kurt Vonnegut, Iggy Pop, Matt Groening, and Rod Serling. And I want to be like Christian Slater from that movie Heathers. And I want to be like Christian Slater from that movie Pump Up the Volume, which is ironic because I don't want to be anything like the actual Christian Slater, so never mind. Sometimes I wish I kept doing pottery because you can easily hypnotize yourself looking into the rotation of the wheel, and it makes you really zen, and you don't wind up thinking about anything else. Sometimes I wish I kept painting because it's perfectly acceptable for painters to keep their mouth shut. And sometimes I wish I could be like the guy who this park bench is dedicated to because the inscription reads, "Never let a hill beat you." And very often I get tempted to just kind of drop out of everything and be absolutely nothing, but never mind. Maybe what I really wish I could be is the person I was when I heard the Beatles for the very first time, or the person I was the summer before I started college wondering what the hell I was going to be, or the person I was when I thought all the ideas I wrote down in my notebook were great. I've since looked at the old notebooks and most of my ideas were pretty shitty, but that's not the point. The point is I thought that they were great, so never mind. Okay, I'm beginning to realize that this video is kind of jumbled up and really doesn't make a great deal of sense. I'm hoping you can do me a favor and pretend that its total lack of coherency is an intentional artsy-fartsy commentary on confusion or something. Thank you. So anyway, I've watched enough episodes of VH1's Behind the Music to get the idea that dreaming about what you're going to be is frequently a lot more enjoyable than actually being it. So maybe I'd rather be a gas station attendant than a politician, and maybe I'd rather be a bus driver than a prophet. Part of me wants to be somebody, part of me wants to be nobody. But I guess I'd rather be a sparrow than a snail, and I'd rather be a hammer than a nail. I'd rather be a lion than a lamb. I'd rather be a Waldo than a Sam. I'd rather be a spirit than a soul. I'd rather be a nose than an asshole. The end.
And now, Mr. Yilmaz.
And thus concludes the miniseries Perpetual Identity Crisis. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time on Tales of Mere Existence. Take care.